What did you see that you definitely weren't supposed to see? I was house sitting for my neighbor Mrs. Chen when I found her husband's secret room. Mrs. Chen was this sweet 70-year-old lady who always brought me cookies. Her husband passed away 6 months ago and she was visiting her sister in Florida. She asked me to water her plants and collect the mail for 2 weeks. On day 3, I was watering the plants in her basement when I noticed something weird. There was this bookshelf that looked different from the others. The books were all facing the wrong way, with the spines toward the wall. When I touched it, the whole thing swung open like a door. Behind it was a small room I'd never seen before. Inside were filing cabinets, a desk, and boxes stacked everywhere. I thought maybe it was just Mr. Chen's old office, but then I saw the wall covered in newspaper clippings, all about missing people from our town going back 30 years. My heart started racing when I recognized some of the faces. Jenny Morrison, who disappeared when I was in middle school. The college student who went missing last summer. Even older cases from before I was born. Each clipping had notes written in red ink, last seen at grocery store and walking alone at night. Then I found a box labeled personal items. Inside were wallets, jewelry, and ID cards, all belonging to the people in the newspaper clippings. I felt sick when I realized what I was looking at. Mr. Chen, the quiet man who grew tomatoes and fixed neighbors' bikes, had been killing people for decades. I grabbed my phone and started taking pictures of everything. That's when I heard a car door slam outside. Mrs. Chen wasn't supposed to be back for another week. I quickly put everything back and ran upstairs. Through the window, I saw Mrs. Chen getting out of a taxi. She looked upset, not like someone coming home from vacation. When she came inside, her first words were, "Have you been in the basement?" My blood went cold. "Just to water the plants." She stared at me for a long moment. "Harold's office is off limits." I should have mentioned that. "I didn't see any office," I lied. "Good," she said. "Some things are better left alone." That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about all those missing people and their families never knowing what happened. The next morning, I called the police. "I need to report something about Harold Chen," I said. "Ma'am, Mr. Chen passed away 6 months ago." "I know, but I found something in his house." 2 hours later, police cars filled the street. Mrs. Chen was in her garden when they knocked. I watched from my window as they showed her the search warrant. Her face didn't change at all. No surprise, no confusion, just resignation. That's when I realized she'd known all along. The police found everything I'd photographed, plus more. Bodies buried under the garden shed, a detailed journal describing each murder, maps of where he'd dumped other victims. Mrs. Chen confessed that she'd discovered his secret years ago. "I was too scared to leave," she told police. "He said he'd kill me too." But here's the part that still haunts me. She also admitted to helping him cover up some of the crimes, lying to police when they came asking questions, washing bloody clothes, even helping him move bodies. The sweet old lady who brought me cookies had been an accomplice to murder for decades. During the investigation, they found remains of 23 people. Some were cases that had been cold for 30 years. Families finally got answers about what happened to their loved ones. Mrs. Chen was sentenced to 15 years for accessory to murder. She died in prison 2 years later. The house is still empty. No one wants to buy it. Sometimes I drive by and wonder what would have happened if I hadn't found that room. How many more people would have gone missing? How many families would never have gotten closure? I used to think evil was obvious, like in horror movies. Now I know it can look like your sweet neighbor who brings you cookies. And sometimes the person you think is a victim is actually helping the monster. The scariest part isn't what I found in that room. It's knowing that Mrs. Chen had been fooling everyone, including me, for decades.